Hey everyone, my name is Mike. Welcome back to Skinny Boy Barbecue. Today we're going to be doing some beef short ribs. So let's get to cooking. So guys, beef short ribs, okay? These are thicker, meatier ribs, and just like pork ribs, you get a membrane on the back of it. Now, personally, don't take off the membrane off the back. They're not like pork ribs. You need to keep this on because it gives a layer of protection against the meat, but also it stops the ribs from falling apart because it's going to get really, really tender. On the flip side, the meaty side, you do have a layer of fat quite a lot of the time. Some people keep it on, some people take it off. Personally, I like to take it off because there's quite a lot of fat and marbling inside the meat itself. I want to take this off and expose the meat to the seasoning. And today we're going to be using Killer Hog's all-purpose rub, and then just a little bit of it, and then I'm going to follow it up with the Meat Church Holy Cow meat rub. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get this trimmed up. It's going to take a couple of minutes, and then we're going to put it on the Traeger Pro 34, and we're going to be using hickory pellets for that one. Okay, so we'll get this trimmed up and we'll come back. Okay, so that's all now taken care of. You don't have to do it as little or as much as you like. Some of the fat will render down on top of it, but I like to expose all this meat. You can see all the marbling just across in here. I want to expose that and get the seasonings and the flavours all into that. What we're going to do now is we're just going to fire up the Traeger. I'm going to use hickory pellets in this. Now, a little trick that I do, I always use Traeger pellets with my Traeger when it comes to cooking. Things like your signature, your mesquite, your hickory, your cherry, when you're cooking your meats and before you wrap them, you've got a couple of hours. I tend to like using the Traeger for the actual cook where the meat's going to absorb the smoke. And then what I don't want to do is I don't want to spend the next 2 or 3 hours then burning that good quality wood when it's only going to be a heat source. So what I tend to do is I tend to get like a cheaper, slightly cheaper pellet, which is going to be used with the Traegers anyway, but I try to get a slightly cheaper one so that I can then burn that, not the good quality of the Traeger. So what we're going to do, that's going to start smoking, is we're just going to start, yes, nothing's going to go on to the back here really, because you're not going to be really eating that part, but I like to just season it with a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic. Turn it over, make sure you get the sides. We're just going to be going for a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic on the sides, and then we're going to follow that through the top. As you can see, it's not going massively hard into this. I don't want to take away the flavours from the meat that this is going to bring. And then we're going to follow the same process with Meat Church. Just a little sprinkle. And this is going to give it some really good colour. And that's it, guys. Seasoned, nice and easy, done and dusted. We're going to give this 10 minutes or so to fire up to 148 degrees Celsius, which is about 295, 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're going to get this smack in the centre of the grill, and it's going to probably take about 3 hours or so. We're going to come back and check this, and then hopefully we'll wrap it up, stick it back in, and we'll be ready to eat. Traeger beef rib, Meet Traeger. Say hello to my little friend. So we're right on the, not right on, about 3 hours and 10 minutes in. And we're looking for an internal temperature of about 165 Fahrenheit. Look at that. Clean, nice, beautiful pullback. Just stick there. I mean, this was like £10 from Sainsbury's. It's actually one of the best thermometers I've had. Yeah, you can get your big, more expensive ones, which I've got, but this just to kind of confirm temperature is fantastic. As you can see it on there, 165, 166, 167. So we're there perfectly. So it's kind of topped out at 170. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead, pull that off, put that onto there, wrap it up, get that back on the heat. So I'll see you soon. Sorry everyone, it's too hard to bring the mount out. So what I'm going to do is I've now got my Traeger Pro. We're just going to pop that through the side, lift this up again, and then careful when you wrap this as well, just a little thing because of the bones. So we're just going to pop, not too deep because it doesn't need to be. So we already know it's about 165, 170 internal temperature at the moment. We're going to pop that in there. I like this one as well because once you've popped this in, you've got the thermometer here. You can just take this around with you anyway. It's got great range. But we're going to pop that back on. We're going to leave that in there. And we're shooting for an internal temperature of about 200, 202. Now, even though that says 179 at the minute, as you can see, it's changing. You've got to give your thermometer a chance to calibrate. So that's in there. That'll settle around 165, 170 in just kind of 10, 15, 20 minutes. I always double check all my thermometers with this, because if you've got two that stay the same, then you know you're good. See, that's 178. It was about 165 a second ago. So we're probably looking at another 2.5 to 3 hours. But in all honesty, you want to go more with... Hang on a minute, hang on. That's better. I just don't want you to laugh at my hair. We are in a lockdown after all. So what you want to do, guys, is I've always got two. One that I always have the other one that I can double checks the word I'm looking for. So that's probably going to take another, like I said, about 2.5 to 3 hours. It's not just about time with barbecue, it's about your temperature, but also your tenderness as well. So once this pings at about 200, 202, we're going to come out. This is really, really handy, this one. I'm just going to come in because I want this to go through it like butter. And then we know once that's done, once it is all probe tender, we're going to take it off. We're going to put it in my cool box. And it's going to sit in there for about an hour just to reabsorb all the juices and everything. And then we're going to pull it out and we're going to do the internal thermometer test, which is to obviously pull the bone out and see if there's any resistance. And we've got the star of the show, Chester. Yes. No, we cannot barbecue my cat. However, there are times where I feel like doing it. Say hello. You didn't want to say hello. Guys, see you in a couple of hours. So guys, the time has hit. It's reading 2:08 and it's like going into warm butter. So what we're going to do now is we're going to carefully take it off. Pop it in a cooler. Now we don't want this to cook anymore. I just want it to rest. So I'm going to create a couple of holes to let some steam out of it. Oh, it smells so good. And then I'm just going to cover this like that. I just want to leave a little bit of a gap because I don't want it to cook anymore. I want the steam to get out of it. But it smells good. Oh, I did it again. Supposed to press this little button here, makes the camera work. And I had it on photo, not video. So I had this whole revealing thing with that. But anyway, the important bit is, I was saying I've only done this 3 times. This is my 3rd one. The first, I rushed it. I had some friends over for dinner and just time was getting on. And so I cranked up the temperature, didn't let it rest. It tasted okay. I was really unhappy with it, but my friends liked it. Second time, my mouth's just watering. I did it properly. It looked fantastic. It tasted amazing. It was the same size and I ate the whole lot straight away. I just couldn't stop eating. And then this 3rd time, maybe this is 3rd time a charm, but let me see if I can get a bit of a close-up of it first. Amazing bark, beautiful colour. My mouth is just drooling everywhere. So, how tender? That was pretty easy. I've had it rested for about an hour and a half purely because I just couldn't wait any longer. That is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the smoke ring. Oh, there you go. That is beautiful. My favourite bit. Tastes fantastic. I let it go to 208 internal, and even though it is really juicy still, it's still a little bit tough, and that's just at the bottom where the membrane is. I could have possibly let that go a little bit longer. I'm going to class that as a success. Probably an 8 out of 10 because I think I could do that better. So to summarise on this one today, cooked on the Pro 34 Traeger. It was just over 3 hours before it got to the 165 internal temperature. We took it out, we wrapped it in some foil. I think what I'll do next time is, I mean the bark on this is perfect, but I think what I'll do is I'll maybe put a pan of water in, keep the moisture. It's not dry in any way, shape or form. I think it is great. It doesn't last very long. I smoked it on hickory, wood pellets, Traeger pellets, just until we got to the halfway point where I wrapped it. It actually only took another hour and a half to get to 208 degrees Fahrenheit. And yeah, it's a win for me, to be fair. I'd be happy to serve this to people. Guys, thanks for joining in with me again. If you like the video, please do like and subscribe. Like the Facebook page, Skinny Boy Barbecue, and on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. Forgive me, but I am now going to go, and yeah, this is all probably going to go. Thanks again.